doing transactions online, whether it's banking or shopping? Is it safe?
We're a living, breathing 16-year track record example that it's absolutely possible. And we, security, we don't exist without the trust of our customers, and you can't have that without security. And even with my biased opinion in the compliance and risk realms, you absolutely have to have it. It's very possible, but you have to, I think it's three things. You have to make sure that the customers, the general public, understands the risk that's out there, so they ought to take the precautions necessary. And they aren't that labor intensive, but do them, and it's much easier. The safety and security that you get online shopping, again, we're an example, it's unmatched. So it's taking the basic steps. We use every contact with a customer when it's appropriate as a teaching moment and let them know these are the things that you need to do. It is absolutely safe. You just have to take the right steps.
Stop, think, connect. If something doesn't seem right, it very well may not be. So taking that time out and you're doing a quick investigation, you get an email that looks to be from your bank, give them a quick phone call. And it's not just email anymore. So many people are using instant messaging, Snapchat, Twitter. If someone sends you something, and be a little bit suspicious, not necessarily paranoid, but just take a second to check it out.
I've seen some articles recently about public Wi-Fi and what you're doing on that Wi-Fi in comparison to in your home. Does anyone want to address how to be safe if you are at McDonald's or Panera or wherever and you're getting on a public Wi-Fi, what you should or shouldn't be doing or how you can protect yourself?
Don't connect.
All right.
Public Wi-Fi is becoming almost ubiquitous. I mean, because Cox has got hotspots out. Matter of fact, Sprint will default to the Wi-Fi on your phone for your voice traffic now, which gives you actually a good service and better battery life. So the public Wi-Fi it's there. The thing that you need to do is take a look at. Don't automatically connect, because if somebody else is setting up a bogus hotspot, if you have auto connect turned on, you just connect it onto the bad guy. And also understand that you need to be responsible for your transactions and your security, that nobody else is going to take charge of that. And so, we joke about don't connect, but yeah, we all are going to. As a matter of fact, I don't go to coffee shops that don't have public Wi-Fi, but I also don't do banking on them.
So, what can a hacker or someone who's trying to get to over public Wi-Fi?
Well, what they can do is they install net flow trackers, so they can watch the data pass from the hotspot through your computer. And if you're putting in your username and password, they can actually capture that, and then they can log in themselves.
Yeah.
And in the recent attacks, the attacker has been able to become a man in the middle. So although you might think you're connecting to a real web page, the attacker can strip out all the encryption before the web page is displayed to you. So look out for all those green bars. Chrome and Firefox do make it pretty good nowadays. Look out for the green bar in the URL saying it is the correct authenticated web page. Look out for HTTPS connection. So the attackers are able to actually capture everything.
A hacker's not even in the coffee shop. They could be someplace else. And so you just need to understand that it's fine for looking at the news or but anything you enter may or may not fall prey to somebody else.
It's fingerprint verification, biometrics, all those kinds of things, and really trying to push it forward to eliminate the need for a password and using the biometrics and tokenization. Get that, because at least you've closed that loop, or you've limited the risk. I don't know that it's possible to completely eradicate the risk, but you've limited it significantly.
Is there anything public policy-wise anyone would like to chime in on that they'd like to see?
What can we do?
I know.
To protect our neighbors and friends and
or is it already happening? Is it just organically?
Are there enough
pressures?
Is there enough laws out there?
In the private sector, we play offense everywhere we can. I mean, we are as proactive as we can possibly be through FIDO, which is fast identity online, working with other companies for password protection, really to eliminate passwords and tokenization, that kind of thing. The biometrics.
Transaction monitoring. So if all of a sudden my PayPal account is being used from Russia or China, they call me, and they actually stop it which is
Okay.
great. I think a lot of us have been at a major retailer, you're buying a big ticket item and you get that call from your credit card company saying, is this really you?
So let's take that transaction, you're going out and you're buying that $2,000
Television.
television,
Right.
and you get the call. What's going on?
So first of all, yeah, we're gonna monitor those transactions all the time. Anything, it's defense depth, analytics, it's everything across the board, behavioral, but it's really the human element as well. So we're monitoring those. We've got, 8,000 people globally that are taking a look at this 24/7, and we're trying to make sure, is this out of the ordinary? And, specifically for a company like PayPal, the advantage that we have, I can see all those transactions. Is a legitimate
There's certain
transaction.
profiling, and they probably don't
Right.
want to reveal what that is, because then then you can work around it. But there's certain profiling, and it's happened, when we were, all of a sudden got a call saying, are you buying a TV in Atlanta? They know from my pattern that, I don't go to Atlanta very often.
Right.
Particularly in the middle of the summer.
Right.
And so, I was able to say no, and they shut it down, and they actually canceled the card.
And it's very interesting, actually. Just last month, I had a credit card issue. Somehow it got stolen, and somebody started using it. It just took one day for the bank to figure that out. And they had used it in Bellevue and Council Bluffs.
Huh.
And it's pretty close, but they detected that. And we were on vacation, and I wasn't using the credit card.
Wow,
for a
they
while.
detected it because of something odd in
Yeah,
the
and
transaction.
we live in Northwest Omaha.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like a different city in Atlanta, but
Wow.
they were able to detect that, and they
Exactly, frequency, velocity, anything that's out of the norm, it'll trigger the event. And then again, that human element to take a look at it and decide, all right, the last thing I want to do, if that's you, and I don't want to shut your card down and you're about to host a dinner with, I don't want to do that, but let's make a phone call, let's find out if it's a legitimate purchase or not. So most companies, anybody really who's got a customer base who's out there who's going to transact, especially wireless,
Absolutely.
we're going to be watching that constantly.
Leave us with some words of wisdom about, how people can protect themselves or their children.
As promoted by Congressman Ashford, there is the Department of Homeland Security site, the Stop Think Connect. So use these resources. The information is out there. Take a minute, go read the Facebook policies on security and privacy. The headaches you may be ending will be your own.
all these are great resources, but they are usually for adults. So you have to push cybersecurity down into schools. And my wife's an elementary school teacher, and they use a lot of technology right there. But they do not hear about security until at least they reach high school or sometimes even to the college.
Educate them because they may not know the risk or the downside of that identity theft or that phishing attack because they may not have skin in the game, financial skin in the game, or a credit card or profile.
Check your credit card transactions every day, right?
There you go. There you go.
Exactly.
That's a great one.
I
Just
do that.
just that alone is checking
It's
your
simple.
credit
Yeah.
card.
Run
It's
your
simple.
credit checks.
Right.
Yeah, it's simple. It takes 5 minutes and you're okay.
If parents would be involved in their kids' online presence, what are their kids putting out there?